Boom! What's up, everyone? What's going on, folks? Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. Nice, solid green days in the books today, but it ain't about what happened today. It's about what's going to happen tomorrow. Okay, huge day tomorrow. We are going to find out just how bad inflation actually is still, as the expectations right now are for another increase in CPI numbers. Folks, my name is Michael Edward. Why should you give a damn about anything that I'm going to talk to you about in the analysis that I'm going to share with you here today? I've been trading and investing for over 15 years, and I began my career working for a hedge fund in New York City, my very first job right out of college. Then 2008 happened, and that was the great financial crisis and the stock market crash and the Great Recession. But not only did I survive that Great Recession, I also received one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. Okay, now 15 years later, I'm the co-founder and head trader at True Trading Group, the fastest growing and highest rated premium educational stock market platform that's available today. And since 2016, my team and I have helped my team of 8 other professional traders, aside from myself. It's not just me. There's 8 other professional traders that are part of True Trading Group. We've helped thousands of people from all over the world, from all walks of life, achieve their financial goals. Now, make no mistake about it. You are on this live stream for one very simple reason. That is to get the information and the knowledge that can help you to make money in the stock market immediately. I want you to take a moment. I want you to smash that like button. I want you to subscribe to this channel, and then make sure you share this live stream on your own social media so that we can reach out, educate, and empower as many retail traders and investors as we possibly can. Guys, tonight's live stream is going down as follows. I'm going to actually start things off with an open floor blanket Q&A session. Give some time for people to log on. Whatever's on your mind, I'm going to let you ask me questions. Okay, tomorrow's a big day. And then after tomorrow, Thursday is a big day, because after we get inflation data tomorrow, we get more inflation data on Thursday. And then the following week, we roll and steamroll into the most important earnings season that any of you have probably invested or traded through. And later on in this live stream, when we are finished with the Q&A, I am going to go through and I'm going to talk about CPI. I'm going to talk about earnings season coming up. I'm going to tell you exactly how I plan on trading this inflation number tomorrow, but I'm also going to lay the groundwork for you for what I'm doing in my long-term portfolio, because we are getting to the point where I'm about to make moves in my long-term portfolio based on what's going to happen tomorrow. So I'm going to lay the groundwork for you. I'm literally going to tell you exactly what I think is going to happen, not just tomorrow, not just this week, but what's going to happen next month and for the rest of the year, because that is what I am getting geared up for in my long-term portfolio. So we have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to cover here today. And we got to talk about that CPI number and how we're going to trade it, but also what are we going to do in our long-term portfolios, or what am I going to do in my long-term portfolios? You guys can take that information for however you want, but I'll share with you guys kind of what I'm doing and what I think the rest of this market's going to do. We've been spot on so far with what we thought this market was going to do in 2022. At the end of last year, I told you guys very publicly that I was taking profit in my long-term portfolio because I expected a crash this year. Well, we got the crash this year. Market's down 20%. Okay. Every single time the market sold off, everybody was like, oh, the bottom is in. In March, everybody thought the bottom was in. In May, everybody thought the bottom was in. And I continuously told people that I do not believe that the bottom is in. Some people called me a fool. Some people called me stupid, right? But my 15 years of experience and having traded through the Great Recession, 2008 and 2009, that stock market crash, I continued to stick to my guns to say that the bottom was not in. Okay, now here we are. And I'm telling you guys, after everything that we've seen transpire so far this year, that I've begun making moves in my long-term portfolio, and I have a huge one that is going to be coming up here within the next couple of weeks. And I'm going to share with you guys kind of the groundwork for what that entails. But first, we're going to start things off with the Q&A. I'm going to give time for people to log on. Like I said, there's no such thing as a stupid question. There is no such thing as a silly question. Asking questions is literally how you learn. That's why you're on these live streams. That's why on 7:30 Eastern on a Tuesday evening, you're not, outside playing around. You're not, drinking beers. You're not watching Netflix. No, you're on here because you know how damn important this inflation situation is that we are dealing with, not just here, but all over the world, and how that inflation can affect and impact the chances of a recession, and how that could affect and impact your money. That's why you're on these live streams. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to unravel it all and break it down for you. But I ask one question. I ask one thing of you. Please hold CPI related questions for later on in the live stream, because my main topic tonight, we're going to do this to let some time for people to log on. Later on in this live stream, I'm going to break down everything CPI. So I will ask, just refrain from CPI questions during the Q&A. I'll take a couple. We'll do this for like 15 minutes or so, 20 minutes tops. Okay, I'll take some questions, and then we'll get into CPI and everything else. Okay, so now any questions that you guys have, stock related, trading related, whatever's on your mind, okay, go ahead right now, begin typing your questions in chat, and let's go ahead and start that Q&A. All right, folks, here we go. Let's start her up. What do we got here today? Don't be shy, folks. Okay, Paros, silly question. Did I make a mistake buying SPCE? Is there any hope, Mike, for this stock? Okay, so when we take a look at SPCE, Paros, I got to be honest with you, man, this is not a stock that I own. This is not a stock that I intend on owning. Okay, this is not a stock that I intend on owning. It's not in my long-term portfolio. I really don't have any intentions. Of adding this to my long-term portfolio. It's just way too soon for these space companies and for these space plays, in my opinion. It's just way too soon. It was a great idea. It's a great story. It's very sexy. It's very exciting, but it's going to be a while before this is a viable and profitable business. So, you know, this was one of the stocks that was one of those like really big, you know, hype stocks, and it was kind of fell into like the meme stock craze and went nuts in 2021. But I personally, Paros, I don't see it, at least for now. I think my money is better spent elsewhere, and I really don't have any intentions on putting this in my long-term portfolio anytime soon. Now, that doesn't mean that down the road there may not be something, you know, something here. I would be far more interested in, I mean, SpaceX is a private company, but if SpaceX goes public, I would be far more interested in that, because that actually has, you know, deals with NASA, and you have different government contracts there working with NASA. Virgin Galactic is more just consumer driven, and it's for recreation more so than it is, you know, real space exploration. So for me, not something that I have my eyes on. Okay, so that's just my own personal opinion. So when PLRX announces the closing of their offering, do you think it makes its way to 30? Held up extremely well today above the psychological level of 20. That is an excellent question. My boy Duff Beers, a THG member, that's an excellent question about PLRX. Now, PLRX announced that they were gearing up to do a $150 million offering. This comes after the company had really good news that their treatment reached its endpoint in one of its trials, and that's why the stock exploded yesterday, going from $9 all the way up to $23. Today, a little pullback back to 20. But you're right, Duff Beers, it's holding up extremely well. Whether or not this stock can continue higher is going to be based on the details of that offering. $150 million offering is a large offering. That's a lot. Okay, you had other small caps today like KSPN and I forgot what there was another one. There's another ticker today with an H that did offerings in the middle of the day that were like $5 million or $8 million offerings, and the stocks got, you know, pulverized. $150 million is a lot. That's a lot of dilution. However, it all depends on what price they're able to get that offering done at. Now, if the price of the offering is done at $14 or $16 when the stock is trading at 20, you probably see a sizable and significant pullback in the price of the stock. But if they're able to pull off this offering at the market, like let's say today the stock's at 20 and then they finish off the offering and they do the offering at $20. If this company is able to secure $150 million at $20 a share, when the stock is currently trading at $20 a share, that's going to be seen as a very bullish sign, and you probably see the stock make a move to 24, maybe even 28. And the stock probably will then make its move higher. You have a major resistance level at 24. 24 is the line you see drawn on my screen. You can see back when we look back to the left in July, you can see it was previously a level of support. We broke beneath it. It then became a very strong double bottom in August and September. And now we are still trading underneath that level. If the company is able to pull off an at the market offering, which means they're selling shares at the current price, the stock will move, most likely, in my opinion, will move higher, because that would be seen as a bullish sign. Usually when companies do offerings, they are at a discount to the market. You need to incentivize investors to give you that money because it's a very high risk investment. In order you get $150 million, an investor, unless they're extremely confident and bullish in the company's projections on their drug treatment, usually you have to do it at a discount to the current market to give the investor some type of protection. Say, okay, well, you need 150 million, your stock's at 20, I'll give it to you at 14. That gives the investor some cushion to the downside. Typically, that's what you see when small caps do offerings. They're typically at a significant discount to the market. That's why the stock goes down most of the time when a company does an offering. So whether or not PLRX is able to move higher, in my opinion, is going to be determined by what price are they able to close the offering. If they close the offering anywhere near $20, $21, that's going to be bullish, and I would look to be long the stock at that point. If they do an offering at 14, 13, I'd be cautious. You probably have a significant move to the downside in store for that stock. So keep your eye on the news, keep your eye on the releases that come out from the company, because they will have to update the public if and when they do close that financing, or that offering rather, and what the details of it are. What do you think about what is going on in China? Well, oh my God, push up so no asks, what do I think about what's going on in China? What part? There's a lot going on in China. When you say, what do I think about what's going on? Are we referring to, the nonstop, continuous, rolling COVID lockdowns that the country continues to put themselves in? I think that is ridiculous. The entire rest of the world has moved past that, but yet China continues to shut down portions and parts and regions of their country. Like when they announced they were shutting down Macau, that was a huge hit for a lot of your casino stocks, like Wynn and all those other stocks got really, really beaten up when they announced they were shutting down Macau because of a spike in COVID cases. If the longer that China keeps doing this, the worse off it is for the whole rest of the world, because whenever you have areas of China, and it depends on what areas that they do these lockdowns in, but where they do these lockdowns will be important, because it affects the supply chain, depending on, like I said, depending on the areas that they shut down. So that doesn't aid or help with inflation. It also doesn't help with China's growth. And, China's economy is a massive driving force in the global economy. Obviously, the United States and China are the two biggest economies in the world. So what China and the US do, the rest of the world typically tends to follow. The rest of the world will piggyback off of growth in US and China. The rest of the world will also drown with slowdowns in the US and China. So China continuing going into these lockdowns is not a good thing for the global economy. And it's also not a good thing for the supply chain, which affects global inflation. So what do I think what's going on in China? I think they got to cut this out. They got to stop with these lockdowns, and just take a playbook out of the rest of the world and move on. If you ever want to bring down inflation and help right the supply chains. So I assume that's what you're talking about when you say China. Because that's really kind of the main topics that's going on in China right now, unless you're asking about the run on the banks. The run on the banks is a topic that is not really getting a lot of discussion right now. And what a run on the banks is when the people all rush to the bank to try to pull out all of their money out of the institutions because they've lost complete faith in the institutions that are holding their money. It's like if, I have, most of my money with Chase. Okay. Now, if something happened where Chase turned out to be a fraud and I had no faith in the system that is JP Morgan Chase, and every single client of Chase went to a Chase branch and was like, I want to take all of my money out right now. That's a problem, because banks do not hold all of your cash in the bank. They lend it out. So your cash is actually not sitting in the bank. It's lent out in other areas of the economy. So when everybody tries to pull their deposits out, there's a liquidity problem within the bank and the bank can fail. All right. So you've had this happen over the last couple of months with a couple of smaller regional banks in China. And it's really kind of an uprising that is stemming from the COVID lockdowns and people just losing complete faith in government systems there. So it hasn't really turned into a bigger problem on like a massive national scale that could affect like other financial areas around the world. But it is something worth keeping an eye on because that could cause liquidity problems. So it is something to be mindful of. I'm not sure which topic you were referring to when you asked me that, if it was about the banks or if it was about COVID. But I gave you both. So hopefully that answers your question. Oh my God, push-ups. Great question. Thanks for answering it. Thanks for asking it. We'll now move on to the next question. Hope that was helpful. Hi, Mike. Dumb question. No such thing, Elizabeth. No such thing as a dumb question. Okay. Is SPY ever a good long-term stock consideration? Not a dumb question at all, Elizabeth. Abso-freaking-lutely, it is a fantastic, good long-term stock consideration. The SPY is the ETF that tracks the U.S. stock market. It is the S&P 500, which is a culmination of the biggest 500 companies that we have. When you own the SPY, you essentially own the market. And owning the SPY is a great way to diversify yourself because the SPY will encompass every single segment of the S&P. It encompasses technology, it encompasses financials and energy and consumer discretionary and consumer staples and healthcare and utilities. It encompasses all things that are the U.S. stock market. So for very, very, very new, investors that do not really follow anything that's going on day to day, a fantastic strategy that has proven successful over time throughout history. Doesn't matter when you invested. Okay. The only way that you are down money in this market is if you invested in the middle or end of 2021. If you're talking about the S&P 500 throughout history, okay, in a solid investment strategy that has worked historically has simply been when the SPY and the S&P 500 goes down more than 20%, okay, when it's gone down more than 20% in a single year, it's been a fantastic buying opportunity and a wealth building opportunity. Every single time. There are not many instances in the stock market or anything related to the stock market that is 100%. There's not many things that you can say with 100% certainty has always happened. One thing that does actually happen is if every time in history when the SPY and the S&P 500, well, the SPY hasn't been around for that long, the ETF itself, but whenever the overall market has gone down more than 20% in a single year, if you invested during that time, it was a massive wealth building opportunity for you and your family for the long term. So the SPY it's an index fund. It is a fantastic way for people to get themselves started with lower risk exposure than owning individual stocks because the SPY is not going to go down 70% or 80%. It's not. All right. Individual stocks can. You've seen Peloton. You've seen Coinbase. You've seen Meta. You've seen Netflix. You've seen PayPal. Right. You've seen Virgin Galactic. You've seen Robinhood. You've seen all of these companies, Upstart, Zoom Video, DocuSign, Teladoc. You've seen all of these individual companies, Rivian, that have gone down 70, 80%. Individual stocks carry more risk because an individual stock can go down 70, 80, even 90%. But individual stocks can also go up 300, 400, 500%. So there's greater risk, but there's also far more, there's greater reward, but there's also far greater risk in individual stock investing. The SPY, the worst stock market crashes that have ever happened in any of our lifetimes. If you're on this live stream, you were not alive during 1929. During our lifetimes, the worst stock market crashes were the dot-com bubble bursting in the early 2000s and the 08-09 Great Recession. Worst stock market crashes we've ever seen. In both of those instances, worst crashes we've ever seen, right? The SPY only went down about 50%. give or take a couple points, maybe 55, 53, okay, from its high to its low when the market's bottomed. So when I look at the SPY, I look at that as that's my worst case scenario. If the worst stock market crashes we've ever seen, the SPY, the overall market, went down 50%, that's my backstop. That if things get as bad as they possibly could, you're looking at a 50% drop in the overall market. That's doomsday scenario. Okay, all these people out there that are talking about the stock market's going to go down 80%. No, it's not. Okay, this is just people that are trying to fearmonger you. They are trying to, they're using superlatives. They're using sensationalism. They're using exaggeration in order to get clicks and in order to get views, because that's how they make money. I'm not going to come on these live streams and I'm not going to give you superlatives and sensationalism, exaggerations. I'm not going to try to scare you into, making actions based on emotion. What I actually teach people is to do the exact opposite. It's to not make decisions based on emotion, because typically when it comes to investing and it comes to trading, when you make decisions based on emotion, you make mistakes. And when you make mistakes, you lose money. So what I try to do is not fear monger the crap out of you, but I try to put things into perspective and I try to make you think of things bigger picture. That's why I like to use the example of 2008 and 2009. In 2008, we had the worst stock market crash in the S&P 500 in 1 year in history. The SPY went down 38% in 1 year. That was 2008. That is the worst 1 year decline for the SPY in history. That was 2008, going into the Great Recession. When you went into then 2009, the stock market went down again, January, February, and March. It continued lower. And then the markets bottomed in 2009. By the end of 2009, from March to December, the SPY regained all of its early losses in January, February, and March of 2009 and went on to move even significantly more higher. And I'll actually show you guys on my chart while I have you all here. I'll actually just show you guys here up on my screen. I'll just refresh my charts here so you guys can see things all nice and clear. And this is what I'm referring to. In 2008, okay, the SPY went down 38%. That's the worst. That's 2008. I highlighted it. That's the worst decline in 1 year in history for the SPY. Then the market went down further. Okay, the market went down further to start off 2009. You see how we went down further? But then by the time you got to December, now when I highlight 2009 for you and you get to December, what you begin to notice, look at how we regained almost all of the 2008 crash. Well, guys, 2009, the economy was in a horrific recession. A horrific recession. Far worse than what I think we're going to get here now. I do think that we're going into a recession if we're not in one already. And I've been saying for months that I think we go into a recession. And we may be in one already. We're going to find out at the end of this month when we get your Q2 GDP numbers if, in fact, we're already in a recession. And I think it's a very, very high likelihood that we already are. But I don't think it's going to be anywhere near what you saw in 2008 and 2009. Not even close. Not even close. Okay? And the market went up 20% in 2009, even after selling off in January, February, and March. So this is what I'm trying to get at. So Elizabeth, to answer your question, is the SPY a really good long-term investment to consider? In my opinion, the answer is yes. It's a great way to just diversify yourself, get yourself into the market. And again, always remember, stock markets crash going into a recession. They bottom in it. Always remember that. You can go back throughout history. Every single recession that the U.S. economy has ever had, the market bottomed not after the recession. The market bottomed during the recession. And this is the difference between myself and other of these people that you find on YouTube that are trying to scare the crap out of you that the world is ending. I'm trying to explain to you that to put things into perspective and keep a level head so you can make good decisions based on fundamental analysis that can be the right decisions for you and your family for years to come. And that is by making you realize that let's take the worst case scenario. That's 0809. the Great Recession. They call it the Great Recession for a reason. It's the worst recession we've ever had. And even in that environment, the stock market bottomed, not at the end of the recession. It bottomed a few months into it. Just a few months. The stock market crashed in 2008 in October. We bottomed in March. Let me say that to you one more time. The crash started in October. We sold off a little bit between January and October of 2008. We were down a little bit to start the year. But the real crash started in October and ended in March. That's the worst recession we've ever had. Now, you look at the market today, we've gone down for now 6 months, 6.5 months we've gone down. My opinion, folks, we are way closer to the bottom of this than we are the top. And if you're sitting on the sidelines, hoarding cash, stuffing it under your mattress, thinking that, oh, the market's going to go down 80% because this person on YouTube told me so. Just look back in history. Has the S&P 500 ever in history gone down 80%? No, it hasn't. And go back and look at the worst case scenarios you've ever had. And 0809 is a good reference. It only went down about 50, 55%. We're already down 20. I think we go a little bit lower. But 50? I don't see it. I don't think it's going to happen. And I'm putting my money where my own mouth is. And we've been spot on so far with our analysis. If you've been following this channel since last year, you'll know that we called this. I talked about it at the end of last year. I said, guys, I'm selling my portfolio. I'm selling my long-term portfolio. I'm raising cash because we're going down next year and I'm going to put that money back to work. And I've started doing that. We'll talk about that a little bit more on this live stream. But Elizabeth, I hope that helps answer your question. And I hope that helps put things into perspective for everyone that's here on this live stream. All right. Next question. Broken motivator. I'm curious, Mike. My P&L is suffering a lot because I can get out of a stock thinking it will go higher. With someone trading 100 shares, small cap at a time, how would you take profit and increase P&L? Okay, so broken motivator. Okay. Without knowing the details of what you're doing wrong, okay, because this is kind of a very general question that my answer, it's on my shirt here. Oh, it's on my shirt there. Sorry, guys. Something on my shirt. I just noticed that. I'm sloppy for you guys. I'm sorry. I apologize. I gotta get my act together here. So without knowing the exact details of what you're doing wrong, right? Like I do one-on-one mentor sessions with lifetime members in True Trading Group where we actually can dive into this kind of stuff. But just from your question, I get out of a stock thinking because I can get out of a stock thinking it will go higher with someone trading 100 shares small cap at a time. How would you take profit and increase P&L? The way to increase your P&L, and this answer is going to surprise you. The fastest way to increase your P&L, I guarantee you this is not what you're expecting. The fastest way to increase your P&L is actually to lose less when you're wrong. That's the fastest way to increase your P&L. It's not buy more shares. It's not hold on to trades longer. Most people do not practice strong risk management. Most people will say, oh, I'll buy the stock at 9. I'll sell it at 8.20. It gets to 8.20. They don't sell it. Then it gets to 8 and they're like, oh, maybe it's going to bounce back. Then it gets to 7.75 and they go, well, I'm already down so much. It's got to bounce back at some point. Once it bounces, then I'll get out. Then it bounces from 7.75 to 8.10. And then you go, oh, look, I knew it. There's the bounce. That's a support level. Maybe I should buy more now. And you buy more at 8.10. And then what happens? It goes back to 7.75. Then it drops to 7.50. And then finally, you've realized too much pain and you exit at 7.50. What has just happened in that scenario is where you took a trade where, let's just use $100 as an example. You took a trade where you should have lost $100 if you bought it at 9 and let's say you exited at 8.20, but instead you lost 250. And the only reason why you lost 250 is because you didn't practice strong risk management. You didn't get out when you said you were supposed to, when you said you were going to. You didn't get out when you were supposed to. Never mind when you said you were going to. And you took a bigger loss than you should have. Most amateur traders lose more money on losing trades than they make on winning trades. And for most people, it's not because they can't make money when they're right. It's that they lose too much when they're wrong. If you can practice strong risk management and lose the exact same amount of money on every trade that you make, and that's your job as a trader. Your job as a trader is to say, what is my risk tolerance? If your risk tolerance is $100 per trade, you need to figure out how much position size do I need to enter so that if I get stopped out, I lose $100. So you say, if I'm buying a stock at 9, and if there's support at 8.35, and you set your stop loss under the support at 8.20, you've got to figure out how many shares do you have to buy in order for you to only lose $100 if you get stopped out at 8.20. A simple equation that you can all write down. This is a free little golden nugget for you guys. Write this down if you're a new trader, because you probably do this wrong. Your position size should be as follows. Whatever your risk tolerance is per trade, that means how much money are you willing to risk per trade? If that answer is $100 or $500 or $1,000, whatever your risk tolerance is, it's, let's say 100 for easy math. It's 100 divided by the difference between your entry and your stop loss. So if your entry is 9 and your stop loss is 8.20, you would do 100 divided by 80 cents. That answer will give you how many shares you need to buy at $9, and then set your stop loss at 8.20. If you get stopped out, you will lose $100. Then let's say you make another trade, you buy a stock at 11, you set your stop loss at 10.40 because maybe there's support at 10.60. So you set your stop loss under the support at 10.40. Well, in that case, 11 minus 10.40 is 60 cents. So you would do $100 divided by 60 cents. That will tell you how many shares you need to buy at $11. So if you get stopped out at 10.40, you will lose $100. And if you maintain consistency within your risk, that is the fastest way for you to actually make more money at the end of the month. I guarantee you 90% of the people that are on this live stream, minus my TTG members, you guys know this already very well because we talk about it all the time. Okay. That's how you can actually make more money the fastest. At the end of the month and at the end of the year and in general. That's the fastest way for you to make more, is just lose less. Now, as referred to, how would you sell if you're trading like 100 shares at a time? I practice a tier trading method. I teach all of our members to do this. You identify 3 different profit targets, and when those targets are met, you sell 25% of your position, then 50%, then the final 25%. You identify 3 different profit targets, and you identify those targets without me getting into a 30-minute lesson here for the sake of this live stream. You'll learn how to identify profit targets as members of True Trading Group. For anyone that's wondering, how do you decide where to sell? It's just identifying resistance levels if you're long. It's identifying support levels if you're short. And you'll learn how to do that when you guys become members of True Trading Group. And you follow that tier trading method. It's something that I learned and I worked with the fund. I've made little tweaks so that it relates to my own personal retail trading. And members of True Trading Group can tell you that once you trade in tiers, you'll never trade any other way. I'm actually curious, my members, if you are a member of True Trading Group, I would like just real quick, type the number 1 if learning the tier trading method that I've taught you guys, if that has made you a better trader. Type the number 1 in chat right now, please, real quick. This is actually really, really, really important, that tier trading method. It's designed very specifically to help you actually stay in winning trades longer. That's the whole premise behind the tier trading method that I teach, is it helps you stay in winning trades longer. And now you can see the comments here from members in chat. Once you learn the tier trading method, the results speak for themselves. Once you learn it, you'll never trade any other way. That's why you see all these people that are typing the number 1 in chat. Like I said, I learned it when I worked at the fund. I've made some tweaks so that it relates to my own retail trading now. Obviously, I don't trade with the same size when I was working at the hedge fund as I do now. So I made some little tweaks with it so it relates to my own retail trading. And it works. It works for my TTG fam, and those comments you can see speak for themselves. I'm a TTG. Okay, so I'm a member. I understand the tier trading method, but I don't know how to do it with such small shares. 100 shares is plenty. 100 shares is plenty. So you'll sell 25 shares, then 50, then 25. That's how you'll do it. You break up your positions into 3 pieces, 25%, 50%, and 25%. For those of you that are trading options and you're trying to tier trade, if you only have 1 option contract, because maybe that's all you can afford with a really small account, I recommend just selling it at profit target number 2. If you only have 2 contracts, then I recommend selling 1 at profit target 1, 1 at profit target 2. Okay. But if you have 3 contracts, if you're trading options, or if you own shares, you would do 25%, 50%, 25% at profit targets 1, 2, 3. Okay, here, TradeLiner. TradeLiner says, I traded today in tiers with 15 shares. So TradeLiner made a trade today, TTG member, made a trade with 15 shares and sold out in 3 different pieces with 15 shares. That's how you do it. So it's not about, I don't know how to do it because I only have 100 shares. 100 shares is plenty. You sell 25, then 50, and then 25. Excellent advice from another teaching member, Bo. Bo says, trust the process. Don't look at the P&L. Exactly. Beautiful, beautiful comment. I love that comment, Bo. Don't look at your P&L, folks. Just trust the process. The P&L will be an end. The P&L is an effect. The P&L is a byproduct of good trade execution. I don't even see my P&L during the day. I don't need to. What do I need to see how much I'm up or down on a trade? Once you look at your P&L, you start making decisions based on your P&L. Don't make decisions based on your P&L. Make decisions based on the chart that's in front of you and the setup that's in front of you, and stick to your game plan. If you say you're going to buy a stock at 9 and your stop loss is, let's say, 850, and your profit targets are 950, 10, and 1075, if that is your game plan, then you don't need to see how much you're down when the stock goes from 9 to 865. Who cares? Your stop loss is 850. So forget about that. I've done it with as few as 4 shares for practicing consistency. There you go. 1 share, 2 share, 1. 1 share, 2 shares, 1. That's how you would sell that. 25%, 50%, 25%. Profit target 1, 2, 3. It's more important in the very beginning of your trading. It's way more important that you get down strong fundamental core discipline and strategy of what real trading is about. That's more important than you saying, oh, I've got $300. I want to turn this 300 into 1,000 real quick, and then I'll worry about trading the right way. This is not an argument of let's debate what came first, the chicken or the egg. You don't make the money and then learn a proper fundamental trading strategy. You learn the proper fundamental trading strategy, and then the result of executing that is the P&L and making money. It's not the money comes first. There's a reason why our slogan in True Trading Group is learn, trade, profit. No, New York City Toro Trader says under PDT, doesn't each sale count as a round trip? No, it does not. Okay. It is only based on your entry. So if you buy 100 shares and then you sell 25 shares, 50 shares, 25 shares, that's 1 round trip. So that would be 1 day trade. Check this with your brokers though. You might have different brokers might handle this differently, but check with your broker. Okay. But if you bought, let's say 100 shares, and then you bought 100 shares, and then let's say you bought another 100 shares, and then you sold 50, 100, 50. That's going to be 2 day trades because it's 2 round trips. You bought 100 shares, and then you bought 100 shares. So that's going to be 2 buys that are going to be round trips when you sell the 200 shares. But if you buy 100 and then sell 25, then sell 50, then sell 25, 1 round trip. Great questions here tonight, guys. Great questions tonight. Really, really, really great questions tonight. I'll take one more question, and then we are going to move on to CPI. One more question, folks. What do we got? Who's it going to be? Rich F says, do you anticipate any buying zones for Tesla lower than the high 620s where it last dipped? Second, what would you consider to be the best alternative to Tesla for a long-term investment? Okay, let's go to the charts for this one. Where would I consider buying zones be for Tesla? Buying zones for Tesla. Okay, I will draw the line. I will draw lines for you for buying zones in Tesla. And you're right. One of those buying zones is 620. The other buying zone is 550. Okay, these are 2 buying zones for Tesla. Okay, these are 2 buying zones for Tesla. And then the last and final buying zone for Tesla, which in my opinion would just be an absolute back up the truck, would be under 500. I don't necessarily think that we're going to get back down under 500, but these would be the 3 buying zones that I would have there for Tesla. I do not believe that Tesla is going to get down to this buying zone. Okay, so let me just be very clear about that. Okay, I do not believe we're going to get all the way down to this level. Now, I do believe that this level, though, is very, very doable and is very reachable. And I personally am a buyer of Tesla down around 550. If I get Tesla at 550, I personally will be adding to my position. Now, I already own Tesla in my long-term portfolio, but I will add to it if this thing gets down to 550. Second part of your question is, what would you consider to be the best alternative to Tesla for a long-term investment? And to be honest with you, I do not think that there is one in the EV space. I do not think that there is any EV company that is in the same stratosphere as Tesla. Tesla is so far ahead of all of these EV companies that none of them are safe. As we've learned with Tesla, an EV company is extremely cash intensive. It is very, very expensive to operate an electric vehicle company. Let's not forget, everyone is quick to forget, but let's not forget Tesla, the juggernaut that it is today, almost went bankrupt twice. So all these other companies that are out there, yes, there's some companies that really kind of stand out. Like, everyone's excited about Rivian because of their deal with Amazon. Okay. People are excited about Lucid because they're backed by the Saudis and they have a very, very beautiful car. The Lucid cars, in my opinion, are the best looking electric vehicles on the market. Lucid cars, I think, are gorgeous vehicles and they are backed by the Saudis. So that cash issue maybe won't be as much of a problem for them because as anyone that follows golf with the Saudi backed golf league, Live Golf, the money that they're throwing around to make things work, they just solve problems by just, adding another zero to it. So there are names out there that I like, and I do like Lucid for the long term. I do think Lucid has a lot of potential, but none of them are really at the same caliber as Tesla. I almost think at this stage, if you're looking for other electric vehicle investments, and this is just my opinion, guys, all of the other EV makers, LI, Xpeng, NIO, Lucid, Fisker, Rivian, all of these carry a very, very high level of risk of those companies actually failing. Because if Tesla almost went bankrupt twice, you bet your ass that some of these companies will also probably go bankrupt. I think a safer play, if you want EV exposure, let's not forget about Ford. Let's not forget about General Motors. Everybody is quick to just throw these automakers just in the garbage because these companies are making electric vehicles also, but they also have very strong cash reserves, very strong cash flow, very strong balance sheets, where Ford, General Motors, not likely that they're going to go bankrupt. But these other small EV startups, you still carry that risk. Tesla has outgrown that stage in their development as a company to where they don't have that same type of bankrupt risk anymore. But these other companies still do. So I don't think it would be fair for me to give you a alternative because the risk levels are just different. Now, with that said, I do like Lucid. I do like NIO because they've got the backing of the Chinese government. Lucid, they got the backing of the Saudis. So I do like those companies to kind of make it out of the, once the EV industry grows over the next 10 years, I do think those two companies could be leaders in the space. But there's still a large amount of risk that comes with those names. So be careful betting all of your money on one horse because you don't want that horse to be workhorse. An EV maker that is doomed, that is most likely not going to make it, is most likely going to go bankrupt. Another one is Lordstown Motors, ticker symbol RIDE. Look at this stock. These are the first two electric vehicles that are most likely just these are the first two electric vehicles that are probably going to be the first ones that just close their doors and maybe the stock just goes to zero. And that'll be, Lordstown, which is RIDE, and WKHS, which is Workhorse. I hate both of these companies. I don't, and I always have. Even when Workhorse went to $30, $36, I still didn't like the company. When RIDE went to $28, $30, I still didn't like the company. But this is the risk that you have when you're dealing with some of these EV makers. So I just don't think it would be fair, Rich, for me to give you like another alternative, in my opinion, to Tesla without making sure that you understand that the risk on those names is going to be far different. Okay. Yeah, Nikola is another one. Nikola. I mean, that's another one. Yeah, let's push a truck down a hill and pretend like our engine works. So like these stocks or these companies are going to carry a lot of risk, and I just want to make sure that that's clear. I'm a big stickler for risk, and I always want to make sure that every single person that gets involved with your trading group, you guys understand solid risk management, because most people that blow up their accounts, they don't blow up their accounts, most people, by death from 1,000 paper cuts. Most people blow themselves up because they step on landmines, okay, or they just jump right into shark-infested water with a massive cut on their arm and then wonder why they just got bitten and eaten alive. So I want to make sure that you guys always understand that. Okay? All right, guys. So there you guys have that. All right, so guys, listen, that wraps up our little Q&A. That wraps up our Q&A session. Okay? That wraps up the Q&A session. What I'm going to do here now, we're going to get into, we got to talk about CPI, right? We got the CPI number tomorrow. I'm going to go over with you guys what I expect from the CPI number tomorrow, how I plan on trading it. And we're going to go over like if this, then that scenarios, because obviously nobody knows what this number is unless you work for the Bureau of Labor and you know what that, no, you're responsible for helping put out this number. Nobody knows what that number is. Okay, so I will give you what I think that number is going to be, and then I'll give you if this, then that scenarios so that you know exactly what my game plan is to trade this tomorrow. But then when I'm done with that, and we're talking about tomorrow, I'm also going to give you my outlook for the rest of the month and for the rest of the year, because the playbook that I've drawn up, and if you've been following my live stream for a while, you'll know that I've had this playbook for the last several months. The playbook that I've drawn up is starting to come to fruition very, very nicely. And I'm going to actually give you right here on this live stream when I think the market is going to bottom. I know that that's a very bold thing for someone to do, but I don't mind putting my neck out there for you guys. I tell you what I think is going to happen. I told you at the end of last year, I was selling my long-term portfolio because I thought the market's going to crash. If I was wrong, I was going to have major egg on my face because I made a whole big stink about it on this YouTube channel. Okay. When the markets kept going down this year, and then we bounced in March, I said, nope, the bottom's not in. If I was wrong, I'd have egg on my face. I don't care. Okay. When I'm right, I'll tell you I'm right. When I'm wrong, I'll tell you I'm wrong. But so far this year, I've been absolutely dead spot on. And I'm going to give you my whole scenario on how I think the market's bottom. And I think the bottom is actually going to come here, or where the markets can actually recover and start to move higher. I'll tell you when I think that happens. We have a lot to uncover here with CPI, and we're going to go over that in just a moment. First, I'd like to see how many people are on the live stream right now. We have just about 1,000 people that are on the live right now. I'd like to see how many people that are here are not members of True Trading Group. If you guys are not a member of TTG, please do me a favor and just type the letters TTG. If you're not a member, just type TTG if you are not a member of True Trading Group. I just want to see, it might sound silly, but it really helps us get a feel for who we have on the live right now that is not a member. It kind of helps me see kind of who we're dealing with and who we're talking to and who's new, because I know my PT fam, they already know a lot of the education stuff that I provide to them because we talk about it nonstop and we trade live every single day. So they know a lot of this stuff already. Trigger Silence, welcome. George Speedle, Diane Brono. We got Tim Hollingsworth. We got Frank Kensey. Taylor Walton. Nice. Taylor Walton said, I'm not a member, but I just subbed to the channel. Taylor, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Smash that like button for me as well. Brett Abbott, Denise Kamer. Kamal is a trial member. Kamal, welcome. Kamal's a trial member of True Trading Group. Welcome. Mike Dye. We got James Sager. How are you? Joe Mahadeo. We got Johnny Gutierrez. Star-Lord, welcome back. Star-Lord, what's up? I remember you from the other live streams. We got Craig the Texan. I remember you as well. Jonathan Godoy, we got Scott, Roberto Games, Doug Whedon, Paro, Sturdy Cuban, Hillary Okolo, we got James G. Diddy, what's good, Drag Wall, Kimchi Yad. Yep, Kamal says thank you. No, thank you, Kamal, for being here. Guys, listen, all of you that are typing TGG, I want to welcome you all to the live stream. Welcome. I'm glad you guys are here, and I want to commend you. I commend you for taking the time. You're on this live stream, like I said, for very specific reasons, right? To get the information, to get the education and the knowledge to help you guys make money in this market and stop guessing in the stuff that you're doing and stop taking your advice from, Mambo Jam's Kitty Cat on Reddit, okay? Mambo Jam's Kitty Cat, very famous on Reddit. I get it. I know. I made that person famous on Reddit from saying Mambo Jam's Kitty Cat. I'm only kidding. It's a make-believe person. But I commend you guys for being here on this evening, because you realize how important this stuff is. And you realize that the only way for you to take control of your finances and to reach goals that you never thought were possible is to really be able to get educated and to learn how to do this the right way. It's no different than any other skill that you guys would try to learn. If you wanted to learn how to bake a cake, someone's got to show you how to bake a cake. You can't just get there and just dump a bunch of stuff together, put it in the oven, and think you're going to have a really nice tasting cake. You got to learn how to do it. Trading's no different. Investing's no different. I want to make sure that the people that are on this live stream right now, I just want to make sure that you guys understand. I'm going to spend 5 minutes. I'm going to explain to you how you can join the TTG platform, because you guys are actually in luck right now. I'm going to explain to you why you are in luck, everyone that typed TTG. And then in 5 minutes, I'm going to talk about CPI. Don't go anywhere. I'm literally going to spend a couple minutes. I saw a bunch of people. I saw 4 people, at least that my eyes caught in chat, that were like, hey, how do I join, or is there a link? Okay, so I'll spend 5 minutes. I'll tell you how you can join, and then we're going to get into everything that's going to be CPI. But you have to realize that when you do join True Trading Group, that you're getting access to a platform. You're getting access to professional level of education, which is what I learned that I worked at the hedge fund in New York. Our curriculum is in-depth and complex, yet it is easy to understand and implement quickly, whether you've never traded a stock a day in your life, or you've been doing this for 10 years and you're looking to kind of take your trading to the next level. Our platform can help you guys reach your goals. I get asked all of the time, what makes True Trading Group different from other courses? And it's the fact that we're not just courses. When you guys join True Trading Group, you're not joining TTG because I'm just this masterful trader and you should be blessed with all of my trade alerts. That's not why you're joining True Trading Group. Yes, I give you all of my trade alerts in real time. I even tell you what I'm doing before I do it. Yes, you get the trade alerts from the 8 other professional traders that are in True Trading Group as well. But we're a lot more than that. We're a platform. Yes, we have courses on our platform, but we've spent years developing relationships with top fintech companies to offer their tools on our platform. Even if you don't join True Trading Group, you're going to need scanners. You're going to need a simulator to practice. You're going to need analyst ratings, dark pool data, unusual options activity, news feeds, charting software, like social sentiment scanners. You're going to need all of those things in order to become successful. This is the stuff that professional traders use that help them make better decisions. So shouldn't you have access to that stuff as well so you can make better decisions? People wonder why they're not successful, but all they have is a Robinhood account and a Reddit. I assure you the traders at Goldman Sachs are not using a Robinhood account and getting their trade ideas from Reddit. They have access to other information that helps them make the right decisions. That's what True Trading Group is. We spent years building relationships with these companies. Like Benzinga, you get Benzinga's real-time news feed, which gives you trade alerts and news alerts in real time. You get TradingView's premium charting software, Quote Media's full book level 2. You get real-time unusual options activity and dark pool data. You get the trade ideas scanner. You get our own scanner that you can actually customize yourself. You get a simulator. You get a social sentiment scanner. You get analyst ratings. You get insider buying information. You get short data. All of this stuff is on our platform at no additional cost. You don't pay extra for it. It's included. That's what makes True Trading Group a platform. You get our entire curriculum, which is a simplified version that I learned that I worked at the fund in New York. You have a video library with about 300 hours of extra educational content on top of the courses. And then, of course, all of our alerts. We day trade, we swing trade, we do long-term investing, we trade crypto, we trade futures, we trade stocks, we trade options. We do it all inside True Trading Group. That's why there's myself plus 8 other traders. It's not just myself. And top it off, you're joining a community of we're now up to about 9,600 members of True Trading Group. You're joining a community of active and educated, like-minded investors that are led by our team of mods that have over 100 years of combined trading experience that currently sports collectively about just under an 80% win rate. We're fully transparent. All of our trade alerts are on our website. All of our information gets uploaded to a journal every single day from our brokerage accounts. You see every transaction, every buy, and every sell. It's right there for you guys to see for yourself. Every win, also every loss. It is all there for you, fully transparent. And results matter at True Trading Group, guys. Results matter. And when I say results, I'm not talking about mine. I'm not talking about somebody on social media. I'm talking about your results. Whether or not you make money with True Trading Group matters. And the fact of the matter is that the majority of our members are making money and they're becoming better traders. And I want you to watch this real quick. Members, now I'm talking directly to members. If you are a member of True Trading Group, Are you making money and are you becoming better traders? If the answer is yes to that question, I want you to type the $ in chat right now. Just type the $ if you're making money and becoming a better trader because of TTG. Now, everyone that typed TTG, I just want you to pay attention to how many $ come through on this side of the screen. These are your peers, guys. These are people that had the exact same excuses that you had. They had a small account. They work a full-time job. They can't be in front of a computer all day long. They lost money in the markets before. They have no idea what they're doing. But yet, with the help of the TTG platform and the education and the guidance that we provide, they're able to reach their goals. If they can do it, so can you. Now, is everybody making money in True Trading Group? No, I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up your ass. Of course, we still have members that are not making money, but it's impossible for us to have a 100% success rate. But we leave no trader behind the True Trading Group. And that's why we hold red to green workshops, where every single month, members that are struggling, they submit questions and topics that they're having a hard time with. And then the moderators and I will host live 2-hour-long workshops to cover those topics specifically to help members that are still struggling. This is what makes True Trading Group different from everybody else. Now, why I said everyone that types TTG, why you guys are lucky, because in case you guys did not know, Adam is my business partner and co-founder of True Trading Group. Adam is not on this live stream with me because actually is in Greece right now on vacation with his wife. So Adam, his internet connection right now with where he is in Greece is absolutely horrific. His mic doesn't even work when he tries to talk to people. He actually calls me on my cell phone. I got to put it on speaker and I got to put it up to the microphone when he wants to try to talk to people during the day. Okay. So he is not able to get into the FTP access for our website. So Adam is actually not able to get in before we came on this live stream to actually change the offer that we had for people to join True Trading, because the offer was supposed to change at midnight last night. However, Sammer, who's our lead developer at True Trading Group, he will be able to change it later this evening. So the way that this is going to work is that because if you go to our checkout page now, I can't change the offer that's there, but it will change later this evening. Once Sammer gets back home and he gets in front of his computer, he's going to change it for us. So you guys still actually have a chance to get the same exact offer that we had last night. And that is a 50% discount. That brings the price from $22.12, which is our normal price for a whole year. It brings it down to just $1,100. Okay. And it still has the laptop there from last night. Now, we do not have, laptops. Okay. But it has it in the checkout kit, in the checkout page. Now, if I have that in the checkout page, the FTC would be furious with us if we did not actually offer it if it's on the checkout page. So what we are going to do is hopefully, and I just text Sammer before this live stream, he's going to be home in probably about an hour or so. I'm going to give away, and we're going to have to buy these ourselves, 10 laptops for the next 10 people that join True Trading Group. The laptops are free. You just have to go through our courses and pass our quizzes, and we will send you guys a brand new free laptop. We ship anywhere in the world, and it's totally free. But I'm only going to commit to like 10 people. If we go past that, it just depends on when Sammer gets home and he can take it off the checkout page. But for those of you that want to join right now, you can go to ttgoffer.com and then enter the coupon code TTG121. You have to manually enter the code, click apply code. That will bring the price from $22.12 all the way down to $1,100. Okay. There are no upsells for the tools and courses and everything that I explained to you. The $1,100 for the entire year covers all of that. It covers all of it. Now, those tools and resources that I mentioned to you would cost you about $5,000 a year if you paid for them on your own. Don't do that. We've spent years building the relationships. Just get them through the membership. Even if you never take one single trade from myself or the other mods, you're getting about $5,000 worth of tools, all for just the $1,100. And then first 10 people that join will also get a free laptop. You'll also get 2 private study group sessions with one of our pro traders to ask questions and speed up your learning curve. And you'll also get access to our My Head Start workshop. At the end of this month, I'm going to host a live workshop where we're going to help traders figure out what is their identity. What does that mean? What trading strategy works best for you? That's going to be based on your personality traits, but also how much time you have to sit in front of a computer during the day. That will dictate what trading style is going to be best for you. And we're going to go over that. And I'm going to help you guys with that in a live workshop called my Head Start Workshop to make sure that new members get started off on the right foot and you're implementing a trading strategy that's going to be best for you. That's what is going to be most important. So you guys are going to be able to get access to that for free. And last but certainly not least, I put my money where my mouth is. Everyone that joins True Trading Group here this evening, you will get a double your money back guarantee. I'm dead serious. I'm not stuttering. Your internet connection is just fine. Yes, double your money back. You have 12 months. It's very simple. Here's our double your money back guarantee. You have 12 months. Go through our courses, pass our quizzes, attend one study group. If you do those three things and do not ever make the $1,100 membership fee back at least one time, if you do not do that, at the end of your membership, we will not just give you the $1,100 back. I will give you an additional $1,100. So we will hand you back $2,200. That's how much I stand behind this platform. And I can do that because I see the results that members have. Since 2016, we have only had to refund roughly 2.5% of our member base. 2.5% since 2016. And we have a retention rate of about 78%. That means that 78% of our members are renewing their membership at the end of their year or upgrading to become a lifetime member of TTG. 78% are doing that. That's why I am confident to offer you double your money back. Nobody else would do that. Just ask why. Ask why. When you join True Trading Group, I say welcome to the family, but in reality, we're in business together. You're going to put up 1,100. I'm going to put up 1,100. And the deal goes, if you make back the 1,100 after going through the courses, the quizzes, and the study groups, you make back the 1,100. Okay, I'm going to keep your 1,100 then. Fair trade. If you don't make back the 1,100, I'm going to give you yours back, and I'm also going to give you mine. That's all the incentive that my team and I need to make sure that you have the best chance of reaching your goals. That's the deal. Straightforward, very simple. So you just have to go to ttgoffer.com and enter the code TTG121, click apply code, and the next 10 people that do so will get the 50% discount. You'll get the study groups, you'll get the free laptop, and you'll get access to my Head Start workshop. You'll know that you're one of the 10 guys, and I'm hoping Sammer better not screw me on this, because once we reach the 10, hopefully by then, Sammer is in front of his computer, and he can make the adjustment so that the laptop will be taken away after 10. Okay, he'll be home in just a few moments, so it should be fine. He texted me before and said he'll be home in about 15 minutes. So hopefully he'll be able to pop on, change it on the back end of our site, so then once the 10 laptops go, it'll reflect, and there will not be the laptop there anymore. Okay. So again, ttgoffer.com, TTG121 coupon code. That's how you guys can join the platform. If you have questions about the membership, if you have questions, anything, you're having a hard time signing up, whatever it is, send a text message to 786-505-4221. The phone number is right there at the bottom of your screen. 786-505-4221. If you have a hard time signing up, or if you have any questions about the membership or how TTG works, or you have any concerns, send a text message to that phone number at the bottom of your screen. Do not call that number. It's a text-only phone number. Just send a text to that number, and you guys will be good to go, and we'll help you guys out. Okay? Everybody, Rachel. Rachel is the first member of True Trading Group. Rachel, welcome, our newest member of the TTG fam. Everybody, welcome Rachel. Guys, that means now there's just 9 left. Okay? That means there is 9 left. Okay? 9 left. All right? So Rachel, welcome to the TTG family. Nice. I like it. I see Brett Abbott. Brett Abbott goes, I'm in. Brett, I look forward to trading with you, brother. I look forward to trading with you. Again, guys, ttgoffer.com, TTG121 coupon code. All right. We got another one. That's Brett. Guys, welcome, Brett. There he is. Welcome, buddy. Welcome to the family, Brett. Brett is the newest member of the Teaching Fam. That means we are down to just 8 now. Guys, we are down to just 8, okay? 8. So the next 8 people to go to ttgoffer.com, you get the 50% off, the free laptop, the double your money back guarantee, access to my Head Start workshop. 8 left. All right. J.E. Blanco goes, welcome to my new family members. You will be in awe with our platform, all the tools you will need to become the trader that you are born to be. JB, STR for life, member, TTG. Yes, I love it. J.E. Blanco, you're the king, bro. I love you, man. I love you. All right, so Rachel and Brett, welcome. There's 8 left. Grab them now, guys, before Sammer gets there. All right, so there's 8 left. Again, as long as you see the laptop, that's how you know you're getting one, because once Sammer changes it, after the 8th laptop is gone, the laptop won't be there anymore. So that's how you'll know if you're one of the 10. All right? Okay, guys. That's it. That's how you can join the platform. See, that wasn't too bad, right? Everyone that had questions about how to join, now you know. Now let's talk about CPI. We got to break this down because this is a huge number tomorrow. We are going to find out if inflation has peaked. And I'm going to make a statement right now. I'm going to make this very bold statement. I believe, well, let me actually backtrack, because about a month ago, 3 weeks ago maybe, I was saying on these live streams, and again, I'm fully transparent. I tell you guys, everything. I said that I believed that there was a possibility that June's CPI number would come in light. I said that a few weeks ago. Now, the reason why I said that a few weeks ago on these live streams is because I started to see all of your commodity prices crack. Oil has gotten smoked. Oil was down like 4% today. It went from $122 a barrel down to like 95. Natural gas has gotten smoked. Wheat has gotten smoked. Corn, copper, nickel, aluminum, lumber, smoked. All of your commodity prices have come down significantly in the month of June. And that's why I thought, man, okay, there's a possibility here that inflation numbers for June could come in under the expectation because of this. Okay? So I started doing some more digging. And the problem with the pullback in commodity prices affecting June CPI is that the way that the economy works, it takes time for a drop in commodity prices to filter through to manufacturers and producers and eventually the end consumer. CPI stands for Consumer Price Index. It is basically a change in the prices for the goods and services that we, the consumer, purchase on a regular basis. Housing, rent, which factors into housing, car sales, energy, like gas for your car, heating your home, food, all of those things factor into CPI. Now, when commodity prices come down, it takes time for the prices to reflect the drop in commodities. For example, when the price of oil comes down, the price of diesel fuel comes down. When the price of diesel fuel comes down, the cost for transportation and freight companies goes down. When the cost of transportation and freight companies goes down, the cost to the manufacturers and the wholesalers and the retailers goes down. So then the price to the end consumer that's buying the product goes down. But that process takes time. And the problem with the June CPI number is I believe it's going to actually be a lagging end indicator. Let me explain to you what I mean by that. First, I got to welcome John. John is the newest member of the Teaching family. Everybody welcome John. Okay. Everybody welcome John. Okay. John's the newest member. That means there is 7 laptops left. Just 7 now. We had 10. We're down to 7. I'm waiting for the text message from Sammer. I hope he gets this done in the next couple of minutes. But he's going to let me know once it's set, and then we'll only have 7 laptops left And then, guys, like I said, though, as long as you see the laptop in your checkout cart when you go to ttgoffer.com, that's how you know you're getting one. You just enter TTG121 coupon code, press apply code. It'll get the discount. You guys be ready to go. Okay. So what do I mean by I think this June number is going to be a lagging indicator? Because in the beginning of June, gasoline prices hit a record high. The average price per gallon for gas hit an all-time record high in the beginning of June. Now, just within the last 2 weeks, you've seen gas prices come down. Many of you on this live stream have probably noticed that the price of gas at your local gas station is probably down 20, 30, maybe even 40 cents over the last 2 weeks. That's fantastic. But that's not going to show up in the June CPI number. That'll show up in July's number. Now, tomorrow, we're going to get the June CPI number, where gasoline hit a record high. Rent is still out of control. And rent is the real problem. Rent makes up almost a third of that CPI number. And rent is going up like 1% a month. It's out of control. So you're still going to get this upward pressure on CPI for the month of June. But I don't think it's going to be an accurate reflection of the current state of inflation. Because if you look at what commodity prices have done in June, let me show you. Commodity prices in June have gotten destroyed. Okay, we'll take a look real quick. I'll pull up the USO. Look at what USO, which tracks oil futures, look at what USO did in the month of June. Look at this sell-off. Look at that, right? Look at that sell-off. Then I'll show you guys natural gas. UNG is an ETF that tracks natural gas. Look at the sell-off in June. Look at the sell-off in June, okay? Then let's take a look at, let's say, wheat. Okay, let's take a look at wheat. Look what wheat has done in June. Complete sell-off. Complete sell-off, right? What else? Let's take a look at corn. Okay, corn. I'm just pulling up a couple commodities just so you guys get the gist. Look what corn has done in the month of June. All of these commodity prices have gotten crushed. But the problem here, guys, is that it takes time for that price reduction to work its way down to the consumer. So originally, 3 weeks ago, I said it's possible with this destruction in commodities that we might see a light June number. But as I did more research over the last week, those prices really didn't start coming down until the last 2 weeks, which were already in July. So I think it's very possible. The expectation for tomorrow, okay, the expectation from tomorrow is for 8.8%. That is extremely high. May's number was 8.6. We got to welcome Diane. Diane, welcome to the family. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Diane, newest member of the family. Guys, now there's just 6 left. These laptops are going to go quick. Guys. There's 6 laptops left. TTGoffer.com. This is a huge day tomorrow. Get your butts in chat. I'm just getting started with CPI. But I won't even wait for me to finish talking CPI because these laptops are going quick. There's 6 of them left. If you guys want to claim one before it's too late, go to TTGoffer.com right now. Use that coupon code TTG121. If you have any questions whatsoever, do not call. Send a text to 786-505-4221. That number's at the bottom of your screen if you guys need help or have any questions. Don't forget, you have a double your money back guarantee. If you don't make your $1,100 back at least once, I'm going to give you $2,200 back. That's the deal. Now, I don't think you're going to need it, but it's there to help you. It's there to protect you. It's there to hold us accountable. And that's what I mean by your results actually matter at your trading group. All right, we measure that off of your P&L. All right. So getting back to this CPI, the expectation is 8.8, which is well above May's number of 8.6. Now, if you guys recall, and I'll pull up my charts again for this, if you guys recall, okay, the markets rallied a little bit in May, the end of May, because people thought inflation peaked in April. You started getting some data that made people think inflation may have peaked. Well, we found out in June that that was not the case because April's CPI number was 8.5. Then in June, we got May's CPI number, which came in at 8.6, which showed that, oh, wait, inflation did not peak and the market sold off. Now the expectation is 8.8, which would once again show that inflation has not peaked. But I think it has. And I think it peaked within the last 2 weeks. But the problem is that's not going to show in the June CPI number. So here's what I believe. I believe the market is going to have sticker shock tomorrow. Sticker shock meaning they're expecting 8.8. I've seen different financial firms say 8.9, 8.8, 8.7, 8.6, and 8.5. Those are the numbers that I'm seeing from when you look at the expectations from like 15 or 20 different financial services firms. Those are the numbers like Citigroup, Bank of America, Morgan Stanley, Reuters, okay, Reuters. That's what you're looking at. Okay, that's the numbers that you're looking at there. The expectation is 8.8. Whether we get 8.9, 8.8, 8.7, I don't really think it matters. I think that number is going to be higher than May. And if the number is higher than May, and I realize I'm changing my tune here a little bit because if you watch my live streams from 3 weeks ago, once I saw commodity prices crack, I'm like, I said, guys, we might get a light number in June. But now as I've done more research, I think that that drop off is going to come in July. July CPI number, I think, is going to be a pleasant surprise to the downside as all of these commodity prices have peaked. You're still going to get upward pressure in housing with rent. Rent prices are going to be the real problem because rent continues to go higher. The problem with rent is rent goes up when the economy is good and rent goes up when the economy is bad, because rent goes up when the economy is good because everybody can afford to pay more for nicer apartments. Rent goes up when people can't afford to buy houses because they still need to live somewhere, and the demand for rent actually goes up because demand for houses goes down. And as you've seen, the interest rates for mortgages went from 2.75 to 5.75. Affordability for people to buy a home has gone down drastically. So more and more people are not buying homes, they're opting to rent. That's keeping rent prices inflated. So you're always going to get that pressure from rent in the CPI number. But commodity prices coming down can really, really, really ease up the inflationary pressure, especially when it comes to gasoline. If oil stays under $100 a barrel all throughout the month of July, then in August, when we get July's CPI number, I think you get a pleasant surprise of like 8.2. And then you say, whoa, inflation peaked. And then that actually becomes a net positive for the market. So what I think might happen here tomorrow is that you might get sticker shock. Sticker shock from, oh my goodness, inflation is 8.8. It's out of control. The market's going to sell off, because the market will sell off because the worse inflation gets, the more aggressive the Fed has to be. The more aggressive the Fed has to be, the more likely a recession, the more possibility of the recession being worse than anybody wants it to be. That's why the inflation number is going to be so important, because the inflation number directly impacts how aggressive the Fed is. And how aggressive the Fed is directly impacts the chances of us going into a recession. And if we do go into a recession, which I think that we will, it will directly impact how aggressive the Fed is, will directly impact how bad the recession will be. I'm in the camp that I don't believe the recession is going to be that bad. I think we have a mild recession, a very much needed recession to reset everything, get back to normalcy, help inflation come down. But I think inflation stays elevated for some while, and you may get a stagflation environment for a little bit. You might get stagflation for a year. What is stagflation? Stagflation is elevated inflation with slowing growth. And that is what I think we're going to see. where even though inflation peaks, it still is elevated. Inflation could come all the way down to 5%. That's still very high. The Fed's target is 2%. So what I think you're going to see happen tomorrow, sticker shock. If you come in at 8.8, 8.9, markets move lower. Then you get PPI Thursday. PPI is the producer price index. PPI is not the end price that consumers pay for goods. It is the cost of the materials and what it costs producers and manufacturers to make things. Now, what did we just talk about a few moments ago? The cycle of how the economy works from commodity prices going down, that will then affect the cost of material for producers and manufacturers, which then affects the price that the consumer pays. So CPI is at the very bottom. And it's the last thing to change. PPI is one step above that. So it takes less time for the PPI to be affected than it does the CPI. It is entirely possible that the markets sell off tomorrow based on a bad CPI number, stabilize slightly when they get a PPI number that's actually a lot better than the CPI number. That makes people feel like, well, wait a second, maybe inflation peaked a little bit, but then you're going to get Q2 earnings next week. Q2 earnings next week, I think, are going to be riddled with guidance being adjusted lower for the rest of the year. Companies saying, we do not think we're going to hit our guidance targets. We're going to revise guidance lower because we're going to anticipate a slowdown in the economy, a slowdown in spending, and we're going to anticipate a recession. That will cause analysts to lower their earnings estimates in the market, and that will bring stock prices down. I think you get increased volatility over the next 3 weeks. I think the markets are going to move lower on the back of inflation not peaking. Therefore, the Fed must be more aggressive. Earnings estimates coming down. That takes the markets to new lows. Now, I told you I was going to give you my game plan on how I'm going to trade this tomorrow, but also my game plan for the rest of the month and for the rest of the year. And I have no problem putting my neck out there. If I'm wrong, I will tell you if I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'll tell you that I'm right, and we'll talk about why I was right, or we'll talk about why I was wrong. And if I change my thoughts because of some other piece of information that I get, we'll go through this. You guys have to realize that being a good trader is not about predicting the future. It's about accurately analyzing the information that you have in front of you to make the best educated guesses that you possibly can based on your education and your experience. That's what a good trader is. People think that there's a right answer written down somewhere in a safe. Like, if you guys remember, like in elementary school, when they would have like the jar of jelly beans and like guess how many jelly beans are in the jar to win like a free pizza party or whatever, right? You guys remember that when you're in elementary school, or maybe you have kids that do that now in their schools. There is not a right answer that's written down on a piece of paper somewhere that's in a safe. You have to be able to analyze the information that's in front of you. And based on the information that I have in front of me, I believe that the market's going to make one more leg to the downside. And it's going to happen here in the next couple of weeks. And I think it's going to come from sticker shock from the CPI number. Then I think that initial sell-off stabilizes when the PPI number is not that bad. Then earnings guidance as you get into next week and the week after are terrible. That takes the market lower as earnings estimates get revised lower. Then you're going to get the Fed meeting on July 27th. The Fed meeting on July 27th is going to see the markets, or is going to see the Fed, once they get an 8.8% CPI number, that's going to cause the Fed to probably raise rates 75 basis points in July on their July 27th meeting to try to stop inflation. Then you're going to get GDP numbers at the end of July as well. And if those GDP numbers confirm that we are already in a recession, because you already had a negative 1.6% GDP number for the first quarter, if you get another negative number for Q2, which the Atlanta Fed is predicting minus 2%, that would be the official definition of a recession. I believe, and I'm really going out on a limb here, and we're going to see if I'm right, but I believe the sticker shock from the inflation, the earnings guidance coming down, the Fed raising 75 basis points gives you the sell-off that you need, that capitulation that you need to make one more move to the downside so that a mild recession is priced into the market, because I still don't think a mild recession is priced in. All of those things coming to a head at the end of this month will cause a new low in the market, but those things coming to a head will then bottom the market. And I believe that the market will bottom as the Fed raises 75 basis points and then you confirm the recession, because then 2 weeks later, you're going to get July's CPI number. And 2 weeks later, that July CPI number is going to reflect the sell-off in commodity prices that we have seen in the month of June. And that's going to give you a CPI number that's going to be far below 8.8%, which will make everyone feel like inflation has finally peaked. And you know what? There's not, in the month of August, there's not a Fed meeting. So you're not going to get a rate hike in the month of August. And you're also going to get confirmation that inflation has peaked. So I believe the markets can stabilize in August. And then once you get to September, October, the markets can actually recover as the Fed stops raising 75 basis points, because now they see that inflation has peaked and the market can actually bounce into the end of the year. And we finish the end of the year with the SPY 410, 420. And we look back in December from where we are in July and we're like, man, are we glad we added to our long-term portfolios. I'm putting my neck out there. I'm telling you exactly what I think. I've been dead the F spot on so far all year. That is what I think is going to happen. That is how I think this whole thing pans out. I am getting ready to add in my long-term portfolio at the end of this month. I think all of these things coming to a head is the final straw. The final straw that goes, then the markets can bottom. The end. I need a sip of water after that. Whew. And let me tell you something else. Only members are going to get my long-term portfolio, by the way. Okay, so only members are getting my long-term portfolio. I will not be sharing on this live stream, the stocks that I add in my long-term portfolio. I'll tell you when I actually start adding, but only members will know what stocks that I'm actually adding in my long-term portfolio. So if you guys want to know what I'm adding, you guys can, like I said, go to ttgoffer.com and use the code TTG121. You'll get the 50% discount. You get the free laptop. You'll get the double your money back guarantee and access to my Head Start workshop. Make sure you guys start your membership off on the right foot. Okay. That's what I think is going to happen. I can't break it down for you guys any more clearly. I try to do these things like I said, you come on these live streams because you're trying to get the information and the knowledge so that you can make the decisions that are right for you and your family. And all I can do is come on here and provide you, based on my 15 years of experience, based on my experience working at a hedge fund in New York, based on my experience receiving a Trader of the Year award in 2008, the worst stock market crash of most of our lifetimes and the worst recession that any of you have ever seen. I can give you my analysis based on those things. And I hope that it's helpful. And I hope that this really helps you guys, go through. And we'll see if I'm right. And if I'm wrong, I'll explain why I was wrong. What changed on the way I think this whole thing plays out. Why did it not happen? So far, I've been right every single step of the way. We'll see if that continues. I'm confident that it will. But remember this. If it turns out we are already in a recession, that is a very good thing. Why is it a very good thing? Some people that might not understand, they're like, what is this guy talking about? He doesn't know his ass from his elbow. How could being in a recession be a good thing? Because what did I say to you at the beginning of this live stream? Markets sell off going into a recession. They bottom during it. So if we're already in a recession, then we're getting pretty damn close. Don't forget the example that I gave you, and I will just go over this very briefly. I don't want to harp on this too much. I talked about it earlier, but we just got a bunch of new people that just joined the live stream, so I'll recap this, okay, one more time because this is an important point. Okay. Remember this. In 2008, going into the recession, the SPY went down 38%. Then in 2009, we went down a little bit more to start the year. But then in the heart of the recession, the stock market went up. 2009, the stock market was up over 20%. Was up over 20% in 2009. Folks, if you weren't around back then, 2009 was the heart of the Great Recession. And the market bottomed when we were in it, not after it. Because 2009, the stock market went up. You want to know what else it did? It went up in 2010. Okay. In 2011, it was flat. And then by 2012, stock market went up again. And then by 2013, we were back to all-time highs like nothing had ever happened. Like nothing had ever happened. I want to put this into perspective for you. When you go online and you go on YouTube and you read these articles and you read Reddit posts and Twitter posts about the market's going to go down 80%, just remember the chart that I'm showing you right now. The worst recession that this economy has ever seen. The chart doesn't lie. The chart doesn't lie. Chart doesn't lie. If you learn anything from my breakdowns and my analysis, let it be perspective on the bigger picture. Let it be gaining knowledge and information that can help you make better decisions and not falling victim to fear-mongering and superlatives and sensationalism by people that are trying to get views and clicks. Because they'll say whatever it takes to get views and clicks. They don't say whatever it takes to help you make money. And my goal is very simple. Help you make money. My goal is not views. My goal is not clicks. My goal is to help you make money. And considering that 78% of our members renew their membership after their year is up, I'd say we're doing a pretty damn good job of it. Just how bad was it in 2008? We were 48 hours away from you going to the ATM machine and the bank saying, I'm sorry, but we don't have your money. That's how bad it was in 2008. You think that's going to happen now? I'll answer that question for you. No, it's not. And the market went up over 20% in 2009 in the heart of the Great Recession. Now you try to convince me that the stock market down 20, 25, 28% this year is not an opportunity. You convince me it's not an opportunity. Change my mind. It's not an opportunity. Because every single time that the stock market has gone down more than 20% in 1 year, every single time, it was a long-term buying opportunity. Everybody welcome Nate, Anthony, Karen, and Iris. Nate, Anthony, Karen, and Iris to our trial membership. Welcome. Nate, Anthony, Karen, and Iris, newest members to our trial membership. Guys, we do have a 7-day for those that are interested. Okay, you can go to ttgthree.com. It's totally free. Put your credit cards away if you want the trial. There is no credit card required for the trial. Just your name and email. That's all it takes. And you guys can join us for 7 days. Not just 7 days, 7 trading days. The weekend does not count against your 7 days. You get a 7 full trading days with us inside of our chat room if you guys want to join us for our trial. Okay, the trial also comes with 3 sample courses and gives you a chance to get a real feel for what it is like to be part of the TTG family. That's Nate, Anthony, Karen, and Iris. And guys, I do have confirmation from Sammer. Sammer is home. He did change the back end of the site. So I believe we have 6 laptops left, and that's all we've got Or no, six. We have 6 laptops left. That's all we've got. So after those 6 are gone, that's it. There will be no more. Okay. So what I'm going to do here now, guys, that completes the educational part of this live stream. Okay. I am done going over the educational stuff. I hope this was very helpful for you guys. I hope you have a better understanding of what's going on, bigger picture. Get your butts in chat. 8:30 a.m. tomorrow. That CPI number comes out. I'm going to be in chat with my fam, breaking it down. We're going to go over trade ideas. We're going to be ready to attack the day tomorrow. Expect a high volatility day. Let's go after it. Let's kill it. I'll be there, guys. If you can't be in front of your computer, don't worry about it. Use the mobile app. The mobile app will let you guys still be connected to our chat room. Even if you're not in front of your computer, you guys work a job, don't worry about it. As long as you can listen to music at work, you can listen to our mobile app because we are live on the microphone talking to you all day. You see our screen share, and we also give you real-time push notifications whenever one of our moderators enters or exits a trade. That's how so many of our members are able to follow along that work full-time jobs. Most of our members have full-time jobs, guys. So just because you work a full-time job, don't think you can't do this. You can, okay? The majority of our members do have full-time jobs and are still able to do this. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to show you the TGD platform itself. So listen, if you're not interested in a membership, you can sign off this live stream, but not until you smash that like button for me and subscribe to the channel if you guys appreciate the analysis that I share with you guys here today and every day. We do this 6 nights a week. But for those that are interested, I'm going to show you the actual platform. First, I got to give out a code word for my members. Guys, the code word for tonight is CPI. CPI is the code word for tonight. If you're not a member, don't worry about this code word. This is for a giveaway that we do with our members. Okay, we do a bunch of fun giveaways with members. We give away cash, we give away electronics. This is part of one of those giveaways. So members, the code word for tonight is CPI. All right. If you're not a member, like I said, don't worry about that code word. The code word is CPI. Okay. Now I'm going to show you the actual platform, all the tools, all the resources, everything you get, because remember the membership is all inclusive. It's a one-time price for everything we get on our platform. So let me walk you guys through it and show it to you. Of course, you're going to get our chat room. Our chat room is where the mods and I, we share our charts, our screens with you. We're live on the mic. We tell you what we're doing before we do it. We're there with you from 7:30 a.m. Eastern until 4:30 p.m. Eastern every day. You can use the mobile app. Like I said, it's totally free. You get all of our trade alerts real time. You also get 2 small private study groups, so you can get some individual attention from one of our head traders. So you can ask questions, go over topics and lessons, okay, that you're struggling with, so we can speed up your learning curve. Then you get the Benzinga Pro newsfeed. These are the tools and resources that I was telling you about. Now, if you went to Benzinga directly, it's going to cost you $1,400 in order for you guys to get access to this newsfeed. This newsfeed also comes with a squawk box feature. That means you don't have to listen for the news. I'm sorry, you don't have to read the news. You can just turn on your speaker and someone will read the news to you out loud as it comes across the wire. You also get TradingView's charting software, their premium software. This will cost you a few $100 a year. It's included free with your membership when you join TTG. You also get the TradingView premium, the TradingView premium software. You also get the Trade Ideas scanner, which is the industry standard. Make sure you always focus on the hottest stocks during the day. This will cost you a few $100. It's free with your membership. Then you have a simulator that lets you trade stocks and options with fake money, but with real-time data. This will cost you just under $1,000 if you pay for it on your own with the company called ETNA. Don't do that. It's free with your membership. You also have access to our own scanner, which lets you build custom scans and even lets you scan for crypto. You get dark pool data, unusual options activity, stuff professionals use to make better decisions. A full trading performance journal that tracks all of your trading to give you statistics on what you're doing right and wrong. This way you know what you need to improve on. A social sentiment scanner will go through Reddit, StockTwits, and Twitter and tell you which ticker symbols are being mentioned most so you can stay ahead of the crowd. Then you have analyst ratings, insider buying, short data. You guys can actually see how many analysts have a buy, sell, or hold rating on any stock that you're interested in. We also give you a watch list every day where the mods and I tell you what stocks we're looking at, but also a game plan on how we plan on trading them. And then you have the courses. The courses are a simplified yet expanded upon version of what I learned when I worked at the fund in New York. There's beginner and foundation courses, advanced courses, options, swing trading, trader psychology, crypto, you name it. We've got it all in text and video format, whichever is easier for you guys to learn. Tina, welcome to the family. Everybody welcome Tina, the newest member of the group. Welcome, guys. There are 5 laptops left now. 5. Welcome, Tina. Tina, Bobina, Banana, Fana, Fofina. I don't know why I just got that in my head. But Tina, welcome to the family. I look forward to trading with you. 5 laptops left, guys. Go to ttgoffer.com, TTG121 coupon code. Grab a laptop before they're gone. As long as you see one, there's 5 left. You're getting one. If you don't see one, that's it. That means we're done. All right. So you get all the courses, guys. There are no VIP or there's no VIP courses. There's no pro courses that cost more money after you join. Every single course is included when you guys join for that $1,100. Then there's a video library that has over 300 hours of educational videos and workshops and webinars that we've conducted that cover a variety of topics like how to grow a small account, how to trade while working a full-time job, just to name a few. And you can actually attend all these workshops live when you guys become full-time members. Guys, listen, man, it's time you guys actually invested in something real. Invest in yourself. Invest in a platform that can help you reach your goals. Now, listen, I cannot and I will not guarantee your success. I can't do that. Not everyone's going to be successful. I can't guarantee you success. But I can guarantee you a real chance of developing the skills that are necessary to be successful. And I can guarantee you access to the tools and resources that can greatly increase your chances of success. And I can guarantee you that if you fail to make back the $1,100 membership fee after going through our courses, quizzes, and attending a study group, that I will give you back $2,200. That is double your money back at the end of your 12 months. If you do not make back that $1,100 at least one time at the end of your membership, I will give you $2,200. That is the deal. And I can do that knowing that we've only had to refund 2.5% of our members since 2016. And I can do that knowing that 78% of our members are renewing their membership at the end of the year. I see the results. I read the reviews. Go check out our reviews on Trustpilot. Over 1,650 people have left us a review on Trustpilot. We are 5-star rated. Go read them. Go read them. Read the good and the bad. Go read them. The ball's in your court now, folks. Gary, welcome to the trial. We got another trial member. Gary, welcome to the trial, brother. Guys, if you want to do the trial, like I said, ttgthree.com. Join that trial. It's free. No credit card required. But if you want the 50% off, you want the free laptop or the double your money back, you want to attend my Head Start workshop, well, folks, you've got to go to ttgoffer.com and you've got to enter TTG121 coupon code and get your butts in chat. These next couple of weeks are going to dictate what the stock market does for the whole rest of the year. The next 3 weeks will determine literally what happens to your money for the rest of the year. Don't you think you should know what the F is going on so you can make the right decision? I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for joining me. I hope this was helpful. Hope you guys enjoyed the live. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. Don't ever miss these. I do them 6 nights a week. Remember, guys, as long as you see a laptop in the checkout cart, you're getting one. There's only 5 left, so hurry up and grab one. If you have any questions about the membership, again, 786-505-4221. Send a text to that number. It's right there at the bottom of your screen. If you guys have any questions, we'll help you guys out. I'll see you guys all in chat tomorrow. My TG fam, get ready, baby.